Welcome to the Kas Show with Chris Ryan. I'm your host, Eric Sell.
And I'm Chris Ryan.
And I'm Say.
Good to have you, Say.
Good to be here, man. Thanks for having me.
From my last podcast, Make It Last with Say, Jaff, and Cass, the man, the legend, the passionate Heat fan, Say Afwalani.
What up, doe?
I think you wanted to start with a comparison, something like that?
Yes, as a Heat fan, I would love to go over Dwayne Wade's current stats leading into the year and compare it to someone named Yogi Ferrell. And no, it's not a bear.
Or a Yankee.
Yogi Ferrell is averaging 10.6 points a game, 2.6 rebounds, and 2 assists. Meanwhile, Dwayne Wade, with the amazing LeBron James, is only averaging 9.1 points, 2.8 rebounds, and 4 assists. And I love it.
And the Cavs are under 500.
It's great, right?
I love it so much.
As a Heat fan, to see that Dwayne Wade leave, and it's like, you can't, it's the culture. It's not you, Dwayne Wade, it's the culture. If we can do it with you, we can do it with Waiters.
We made you.
Hopefully.
Okay, we're getting a little carried away. Dion Waiters is not a Dwayne Wade.
No, some moves happened this week in the NBA. Eric Bledsoe was traded from the Suns for Greg Monroe and a future first-round pick. What do you guys think about this trade?
That he was given to them?
I think Milwaukee. I think it might. Hear me out. I think it might be a Milwaukee-Boston East Final.
The hell's the matter with you?
Tell me I'm wrong. No,
I've never seen anyone like count out the Cavs more than you. It's LeBron. It's the legend. It's the guy that does it in the postseason.
They don't play any defense.
Do you guys remember the number one critique about the Cavs, like going into the finals? They don't play defense. I mean, going into the postseason last year, they don't play defense, and they still made it happen. They still made it to the finals.
Yeah, because the Boston. Who was Boston's best player?
Isaiah Thomas.
Who was Boston's best player games 2 through 5?
Terry Rozier.
And this year, Kyrie, Jaylen Brown, and Jason
Tatum. Are you proud of me that I knew his name?
I was a little proud.
Yeah.
He's not a bad guy.
He's good.
I personally think it's going to be the Cavs and the Bucks, but you know.
Oh, well, that's classic Heat fan hating the Celtics.
I mean,
it's so easy to hate the Celtics.
Listen, I don't hate the Celtics right now because I'm a Kyrie fan, but like without Gordon Hayward, they aren't going to do. They're not going to go that far.
But Jaylen Brown and they may or may not get to the East Final.
I don't want to talk about the NBA anymore. The NBA is unimportant. The Steph Currys have already won this year. It doesn't matter. His daughter's adorable. We'll talk about it if there's a big move or something. I want to talk about Jameis Winston. We'll talk about Does he not know how to talk to people? Was he raised in a barn or something?
Hear me. You know that he W's.
This is my.
That's the only way he's getting a W, though, right?
He can't win on the field, so he's got to eat his hand.
This is my stance on why he did what he did. Okay, so granted, what he did looked pretty clownish. It was full of clownery, and the only reason everybody says it looks so dumb is because the Bucks are pretty bad this year. But
it looks dumb because he's got a jank finger.
But if
no one noticed that?
But
like, he's had that jank finger for 30 years. Like, he was at FSU with the jank.
In the womb with the jank
he was
finger.
In the womb and in the sperm with the jank finger.
But if they're I know Deshaun Jackson was looking at him like he had 3 heads. But if they're 6-2, you go, oh man, he's really good at pumping up his team. I think he does this because Dirk Cutter is an awful football coach and should never have been a head coach in this league, and he's just terrible. And he lost control of the team. Did you see when they got in the fight? He was like, when Mike Evans had a cheap shot on that one dude, he said he didn't even see the fight. And
I like how we do our research on this show. Mike Evans fought that one dude.
Who was it, Harry?
I don't do my research, but I didn't bring up the Mike Evans fight. I can tell you about the AJ Green fight. You want to know? You want to do about that one?
Well, that was 2 stars.
His name's Jalen.
And Jalen Ramsey should have gotten ejected because of how much of a little girl he was.
Thank you for holding yourself. Yeah, thank you.
You're very welcome. It's been a long time.
It sounded like it was difficult for you.
It was very difficult. I was about to go off.
But my last point with the whole Jameis and the whole fight and the Bucks are a mess is just Dirk Cutter has lost complete control of that team. He should have done something. You see, Sean Payton was halfway midfield, and he was screaming at him, "No, you don't come out my players." And Dirk Cutter just stood there and did nothing. So fire Dirk Cutter right now.
The fact that you know the Bucks head coach name is like kind of impressive. Cause
right? Thank you. I do 75% research on this show.
No one should know his name just because of how bad he actually is.
Also this week, Leonard Fournette did not play in the last Jaguars game because they had a team photo and he didn't show up for it. The Jaguars are trying to build a culture, so they cut him and they made it a point. If there's ever a photograph taken, you have to be in it.
They cut Leonard Fournette, or they?
They benched him. Did I say cut?
You did say
Oh,
cut.
that's on me.
But hey,
That's on me.
we all make mistakes.
We all make mistakes.
I didn't know the Saints name guy, but Harry said they cut Leonard Fournette, so.
I thought Terry Rozier was good at basketball, so we all make mistakes.
Yes, we do. Especially Celtics fans.
But I like it though. Tom Coughlin's getting in there. He's creating, like you say, he's creating a culture.
They have maybe the best defense. Maybe the best defense.
It's
A top 5 defense for
definitely
sure.
top 5 defense, but I don't. Do you guys see them winning the South without a quarterback? Because Blake Bortles is not good.
Blake Bortles' numbers aren't that bad this
But
year.
his numbers aren't bad. But
They're not
okay,
that bad.
If you're
I
tied,
think he's 18-5. That's fine.
If you're tied against a quality team in the fourth quarter and you want to go down the field and score a touchdown, do you trust Blake Bortles to do that for you?
I trust him more than probably half of the quarterbacks in this league.
Really?
Yeah, I can name
I
more.
don't.
I can name more quarterbacks than I don't trust, especially at this point in a lot of their careers.
Would
Jay
you?
Cutler.
I was gonna say that. Would you trust Blake Bortles over Jay Cutler?
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
You guys
Yeah.
are insane.
Yeah.
I like Jay Cutler.
But Blake Bortles is exciting. You know what I mean? I'd rather root for him. Like it's a boring offense. Like we almost beat Oakland and the whole game was boring and it was sloppy and I hated it.
Listen, I would much rather have Phillip Rivers as my quarterback over Jay Cutler just because of the dramatic scenes he makes on the sideline.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He makes the game
screaming
fun.
at somebody.
Amari Cooper did have a a drops though.
How many drops did he have? 840.
Amari Cooper had more drops in the Dolphin game than he had all of last year.
That's insane.
Fun fact.
Julio Jones dropped
A wide
his
open
catch ever,
in the end zone. That would have.
and that's why Antonio Brown.
That's why they lost.
That's why Antonio Brown is better.
I don't think that's really a conversation. Is that a conversation?
What?
No, yeah. a lot
As of
people
last
think
year it
Julio's
was.
better
Oh, I thought it was confirmed that like AB solidified himself as like the
Did you
yeah.
Did you see his catch in the Super Bowl when the Falcons almost went for the game-winning drive?
when they almost went for the game. Did you see him almost
The
be
game-
amazing?
The game where they were winning by like 20-some points.
But
yeah.
no, he I forget who the DB was. But the
We don't
DB
do any research.
The DB for this was what month is it? No, this was 7 months ago.
Oh, it's New England. It's your team, and you don't even remember the DB.
That's even better.
That's great.
I'm gonna find it right now.
Someone
I was in a roller coaster of
You
emotion
can't take
during that game.
take your phone away because you need.
I'm not here. Say off. Say something.
What's up?
There you go. You still okay?
You can't use your phone to Google something. It makes Sayoff. Now he's at the other end of the room.
We don't need him right now.
He's doing a podcast with us. This is such bad radio. I love it.
Let me see who
I
it
love
was
it.
real quick.
If you like the show, subscribe to our YouTube page.
It was Eric Rowe. That's who it was. I thought it was.
Go on our Twitter at Kas Podcast. That's at KASPODCAST. Follow us all on Twitter and say something, Sayoff.
Oh, I'll see y'all later, I guess. We're done.